Okay, we're back. So as you can see, the lighting is better. I don't know why it darkens on Facebook, but it does. So, it's Gertie by Laura Lee Eagles. And I'm touching up her creasing. She's had 16 layers so far. And I started doing this, but it wasn't showing up on the video. So I'm going in there with the powders. And to recap, the powders that I'm using is Coastal Scents Fine Wine eyeshadow. Coastal Scents is out of business now, so when I run out of this, to go with another company. So I'm simply what I'm doing here. I must have started this side. Okay, so as you can see, I started this side. So it's more touched up, and it gives it a more realistic look than using paint. It's much easier too. You don't have to worry about spillage and this is a paintbrush that I'm using. It's not an actual makeup brush because I really needed to get into the lines here. So it's a fine it's more of a fine line paintbruch, which is used quite often. So as you can see, I touched it up. Let's see if I can show you closer. But it gives it a nice, you don't get the runny lines or anything. It stays in here really nicely. Ever since I started using powders for creasing, I've never switched back to paint. There are some Heat Genesis artists that have used, some have had luck with it, and some have had it breaking off, or peeling off from the baking. So I guess it's all about how you apply it, how long you let it sit. Even though I'm doing air dry, I let them sit for 24 hours. When I do seal them in, I seal them in with a wash. I put Sealer by Ultimate Fusion, a few drops in the wash, and it seals the powders in. And I've never had a problem with it. I use this for some blushing too, but I also use paint for blushing, but I do use this more for blushing than paint. So as you can see, this here needs some more. And the deeper the creases are, the more you can put, just as you would paint. So as you can see, this compared to this, it looks good. So I'm going to, she has crease. Her head's heavy. My arm's getting tired already. Just got a crease under her neck here. I put a little too much yellow there, but I'll be able to layer that. So my babies generally have a lot of layers to give them that realistic look. So I'm going under here now. Powder has lasted a long time too, which is nice. Her arm's getting tired from holding her head. Her head's heavy. So I'm gonna do more where under her neckline in here. I'm gonna go darker there because that's a deeper crease. The other thing I like about the powder is when you add more, a little bit goes up the side here just a little bit, which gives it that realistic look to it when the skin is creased. So that's what I also like about it. If you do make a mistake, it easily wipes off. As we're just putting it on dry here. We're not wetting it or anything. You can see how nice that underneath crease looks. And you hold it like that. She's got like a roll there, which pans out here. And the darker, more dark hair really brings the roll out, as you can see there. So I'm just checking around her to make sure I got all the creases here. She's got one here, but it's barely anything, so I'm just gonna very lightly go over that. This one here, it's like barely anything. Now, usually in her face, I'll do a red down her eye here. You don't want it too much. Don't want it to look like she's got an eye infection. And you just run it out. Blend it, keep blending. What I'm doing here is I'm blending. And you can see it gives that realism of the eye there. I'm going to do the same here with this eye. I'm just going to start it here. So I'm not used to filming. And I'm going to blend it. I need a little, just a tiny bit more for this. The crease is different on the one eye than the other. It's a little shorter on this one. See? I'm just gonna add. I don't want them to look too off from each other. There, that's better. And then I usually go up. Where'd it go? I usually go up in the eyelid here. There's a crease right in there. You wanna so you can see that there. Up in the eyelid there. So I'm going to do the other eye. My hair barking because I have a grooming client here. My mom and sister are working on. Okay, now I'm going to do the crease up in there. I know it's weird music, but it's free license, so Facebook can't give me a hard time over it. So I got the eyes so you can see the crease up in there. So I do add some of the creasing up in the tongue. So the tongue's got up in here the line through the tongue. See, I go in there. And then she has like a gum line up in there. So I crease that. She has a deeper part in here, which I make sure I crease so that the gum part where the teeth would grow out stick out more realistically. Then I do the creasing of the inside of the lip line. I don't do a lot of it because I really use the paint to build up the mouth and that. This just makes it easier. Don't make it a mess. Trying to get that realism in there. Sometimes the powders want to work. Sometimes they want to drive me crazy. Okay, so I also add some here on, there's creasing on her lips here. It's really hard to get in those lines because of the texture, but they're so small. And then I'll go a little darker in the lips here. Takes forever. Sorry. Not used to filming this while I'm working on it. So I'm just doing the inner part of the lip here. See in there. I'm going to do a lighter creasing. You want it to be thin because if you don't, if you put like too much, it will chip off. So sleepy. I've been so sleepy the last 3 days. I mostly do the lips using the primary method, but when you order the tutorial Ultimate Fusion primary kit trial, it comes with a pamphlet that tells you how to use the primary colors to make, you know, nail tips and nail beds and lips and all that. So I use that color on the lips to build with the look like there's blood flow in her lips. And then I use the primary colors to build the skin coloring in the lips. Instead of just painting them like, I don't like to paint them like lipstick. I like them to look realistic. Not like someone put makeup on them. So those are her lips there. I can see detailed inside. So she's got a crease here under her chin. So I'm gonna do that. I don't know why, but it might be because I'm running out of room on my phone. See that there's a crease up in here, so I did that crease. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the whole thing for you on regular video because I need to go through stuff on my phone. It's terrible. There's stuff on there from over a year ago I need to upload on my Facebook. Mostly animals and reborns. And my silicone baby. So not used to doing this on camera. Trying to get it in the ear there. It's okay, I got it. And then I usually go over her, check her, make sure I got all the creasings I need to get. See, I forgot this in the ear here. There's like an area here in the ear Then I blush right here. And I usually do blue in here, around this area. And anywhere where, around the boning area, I would use blue to bring out the depth. Oh yes, under here. Forgot. Okay. That's why I'm always double checking her. Under the chin here, there's a crease, so just look at that. So I usually do also a blue up around the eyebrow bone here, which gives me the depth of that. And then I do blue here, just at the top of the ear here, and then just like a loop here. It gives the shadowing of the ears and the where the bone structure is. Just makes it more realistic. But yeah, that's how I do the creasing with powders. It's much easier. I'm going to do her legs next. I'm not sure if it'll let me film everything, but because of the lack of room that I have, but I'll try. So, what's her head? We're going to put her head back up here. I'm going to let those powders sit for 24 hours without touching them. These are her arms. So I'm going to go in the creasing here in her arm. And I take my time with this. Some people just zoom through it, but I take my time because I want her to look really, really good. So I work longer on my babies to prevent mistakes as much as possible. And so that is exactly how I want it. So some people are like, wow, you've been creasing that long? Yeah. Bit of perfectionist in that realm. And really, when you have someone making you a baby and you're paying that money, you don't want them to zoom through it, right? You want them to take their time and make a beautiful baby. See that creasing in there? Gonna go in her arm here. A little darker in the ridge of the arm here because the baby's got her arm up. It all depends on, so she's squeezing that crease in more. So it all depends on the direction that the arm is going. If it's out straight and it's not a chubby baby, then you don't want to do them as dark. So as you can see there. Sorry, I don't know why it stopped. Second part. So I did the crease there under her chin. Okay. These here, some people will crease these, but I'm not going to. Not for this baby. Oh, I also add inside the nose. Believe me, it's a lot easier than doing the paint. inside the nose because it can get everywhere, because if you make a mistake on the outside, it comes right off. I'm sure you try and get on the tip of the brush for the nose because you mostly want it. I don't make holes in my noses or ears. Don't want to ruin them, so oh yes, I go around the nose. I do this in red, I mean in the fine line, and blue, which is cornflower blue by Coastal Scents. But like I said, they're out of, they closed their store now. So I have a another artist that's helping me with the new ones when I order them, what colors that I'll need for the, because some people will work on a whole baby with powders, but yeah, I screwed up the veins here, but that's fine, she'll be rooted. So she's gonna help me pick the right colors, because I only use them for creasing, shading, blushing, but some people will do a whole baby with them. I tried veining with them, but I couldn't get them as fine because I hate doing veins. So I'm going to just do the creasing in the ears here. Some artists like doing the veins and some hate doing them. I hate doing the veins. The ones I would have to say I detest the most, which I mostly root, then paint, because I use air dry. You gotta be quick to fix it when you use air dry, is the eyebrows. Those are a nightmare, especially the right side. What else? The nail tips and the half circle, the cuticle area can, can be annoying. I add some red here for the detailing part of the ear. I also use blue for shading in the ear. And then I use it where the eardrum would be. Oops, I went a little too far there. But this is just the detailing part. My paints mostly make the color of the ears. Some people do the back of the ears, some people don't. In this case, I'm not going to because there's not a deep crease in there. So I'm not going to. But if there was a deeper crease in the back, then I would. There's a crease here, so I'm gonna get that there.